The latest Pixel watch from Google. Let's have a closer look. Dave Taylor here, and I'm checking out this. This is the Google Pixel Watch 3 41mm, and I did an unboxing. You should definitely check that out if you're curious what's in the box. But long and short of it is it's a watch. It's a smartwatch, and it's a huge improvement and really big update from the Pixel Watch 2. The biggest thing that people will immediately notice is it now has two different sizes. So this is the 41mm, and it's kind of small on my wrist. So Google also introduced the Pixel Watch 45mm. So that's a huge difference, but there's a lot more that they've changed here. So it has a 16% reduced bezel, and the screen on the 41mm is therefore 10% larger. And then the screen on the 45mm, which I don't have to show you, is a whopping 40% larger than the old 41mm. So it's a nice improvement. There's a lot of things under the, well, we can't really say hood, under the face that also make this really cool too. So let me give you some specs, let me show you some close-up photos, and then we'll switch to a live demo of some of the things this watch can do, because it's pretty slick. So first off, this is the 41mm. It is a 1.26-inch display at 320 pixels per inch, and it weighs 1 ounce. That's not including the band. And then the 45mm is 1.45 inches, and you're thinking that's not much size difference. It's a lot of difference when it's on your wrist. And the 45mm is 326 pixels per inch, so it's a little bit better screen, and it's 1.3 ounces. They're both powered by the Qualcomm SW5100 Gen 1, and that's a quad core with 4 CPUs. 4 processors in this watch at 1.7 gigahertz, 32 gig storage, 2 gig of RAM, always on display. It has a lot of smarts, as you would expect from Google, one of which is it can automatically go into bedtime mode. So if you like wearing a watch while you sleep and you want to get sleep data, which you can do, then you just basically ignore it. Just go to sleep and it will say, hey, you're asleep. I'm going to switch into bedtime mode, which is a different interface, a much dimmer screen, and it's collecting stats that it wouldn't be collecting during the day. And of course, fitness and health are a big piece of the story here with this new watch. And it integrates the entire Fitbit sort of athletic and tracking and health system. And there's a lot less that's hidden behind that Fitbit Pro paywall. So they've moved a bunch of useful features into the generic Fitbit side. I'll show you a little bit of that when we get to the live demo, but 24-hour battery life, if you put it in like low power mode, it can go up to 36 hours. Faster charging, and for charging, I should point out, it has a special charging cable, and it has 4 little contacts on it, and the other end is USB-C. So you basically line up the wire with the crown, and then it's strong enough that you could actually hang it from the wall while you're charging. You will need to bring your own charger or plug it into your computer to charge, but the watch does come with the charging cable, which is pretty darn helpful. And let's see, what else can I tell you? It is twice the brightness of the Pixel Watch 3. It's gone from 1,000 nits to 2,000 nits. That's a huge step. What does that mean? It means when you're in bright sunlight, it's still a crisp, easy to watch, easy to view, and easy to see display. Very helpful. Also a 60 hertz refresh instead of 30 hertz, so that gives all of the motion and activity on the watch looking, it just looks better. It's less jumpy and jaggy. Okay, let's see. Offline Google Maps, runs Wear OS 5.0, Bluetooth 5.3, IPX68 water resistant, so you can wear it swimming or surfing. And not sure whether I would, but you can. I guess surfing I'd be more concerned with, because if for some reason it like fell off your wrist, you're out of luck. In a pool, you can find it. And that reminds me, so it does come with this integrated watch band, and the watch band, I should show you, it has a sort of interesting setup where you push the other end of the band through the first hole, get it to where you want, and then the post goes in that actual hole, and then you tuck the other half into the second hole, and now you have a nice fitting watch. Easy enough to do. So with all that, let's jump into a demo where I can show you some of the features on the watch screen, and I'll show you a little bit of the watch app on my Pixel 8a. So let's get all that set up. Here's the watch, and here's the Pixel Watch app on my Android phone. Now, I have it unlocked, so I can swipe down, and you can see there's a ton of shortcuts here, including helpful things like going into airplane mode, or not, and then brightness. And brightness has an adaptive brightness feature, which I don't actually like, but many people do, so you can enable that with a touch. And you see it got a little dimmer, but we want it to be maximum brightness. We go back to shortcuts, and then we go right back to the home screen, swipe up to get notifications, and you can see I have various notifications, and I can pick a message. Let's go to that Dave Taylor guy, and I can respond right on the watch with, let's just do a thumbs up, and I'll send it. So that's easy enough, right? So I've sent that message, and if I swipe from the right, then I can see I've only had a few steps for today, and my heart rate, you're not seeing much because it's not on my wrist. And quick start, these are my typical workouts, elliptical or running or hiking. And you can pick more. Sleep data, as I said, I don't wear it for sleep. Meeting I have in my calendar, I can add more things. Weather, and map here gives me the ability to search and do various things. And we're back to time. And then if I swipe from the left, then we get to that same thing. So this is what in the app they call tiles. So here are the tiles we just went through. And I don't know why my phone is not very bright. Let's see if we can improve that. Let's see. Okay. So here are the tiles that we just went through. And I can add tiles or remove tiles by editing. So let's say I really don't track sleep. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that sleep tile. And now it's gone. And see it locked up. And then so since we're in the app, I can also go into watch faces, and we have digital bold. There's various faces. If I want to add this one to the watch, I can just tap on it, and it will not only add it, but it will then use it as the current face. And now I have to unlock my watch again. But I can also change faces on the watch. So just tap and hold, and now I can step through the different watch faces to find one that matches my mood today. Let's try Vista. That's easy enough. And notice that changed. And if I swipe over to Vista, it'll now show that it's the one that's on the watch. You can add more watch faces by simply tapping and going through Google's pretty good library. There are also third-party watch faces you can get that vary. They seem to all be either 49 cents or 99 cents. And then back on the watch, if I push on the crown, I now can see all of the apps that I have on my phone. And there's some really nice new additions, including the ability to do voice memos and such. But you can see there's also a fair number of sports-related things. I can go to YouTube. And yes, you can actually watch videos on your watch. Really, I'm not 100% sure why I would want to do that, but I can. And I can download music for workouts. We'll go back to the apps view. You can interact with your camera on your phone. So notice it switched to camera. We'll go back again. And let's see, I'll show you one more. One that I like is Calm. It helps you remember to breathe slowly. We'll use the built-in speaker. And
Day 1, the big idea.
So I hope you can hear that.
Hi, I'm Jeff Warren. Welcome to How to Meditate, an introductory course for...
Okay, so It literally, your watch can teach you how to meditate, which is pretty cool. Now, there's the crown. There's also a button on the side too. And that button gets you to recents. So if I was ready to, let's go back to where we were. If I was ready to jump into a workout, I might go into Fitbit exercise and elliptical, and I am ready to go for my elliptical run. So that is pretty sweet. And we can go back here, and you can see there's a lot going on in the watch app. There's a lot of settings, a lot of settings. And there's a lot of customization you can do with Fitbit. Unfortunately, because I didn't pair the Fitbit app with the watch app, all of my historical data for workouts and for even just walking around, all of that seems to have been lost on the watch, which doesn't entirely make sense to me, but that's how they've designed it. I hope that was a really useful demo. I've been wearing the Pixel Watch 3 for somewhere between a week or two, and I've really enjoyed it. It is probably the state of the art at this point in terms of Android compatible smartwatches. I still think they have a ways to go to beat the Apple Watch, but if you're on the Android side, this really is one you've got to have a really close look at before you just go and get the Samsung, because that's the other big competitor. And certainly if you have a Pixel phone and you have a Pixel Watch, you are deep in the Google ecosystem and it's all going to work super smoothly. So we do need to talk about price. Before we get there, I'm going to ask you to subscribe to my channel. Click on that subscribe button. Hit the bell icon for notifications. Give me a thumbs up if you found this of value. And if you think I missed something, then go ahead and leave a comment and let me know so that the next review is just a little bit better than this one. That's how it works. Cool. Now, this is the Google Pixel Watch 3. It comes in obsidian, which is black, which is this color, and hazel and rose quartz. And this is $449.99 at att.com, or if you want to make payment plans, it is $625 a month times 36 months. I should importantly point out this is an LTE watch, so it has some level of connectivity even if you leave your phone at home. There are non-LTE versions that you can get of the Pixel Watch that lower the price significantly. If you want the 45 millimeter watch, that's $499.99 at att.com, or they have a payment plan too. It's $50 more. You can do the math. So definitely AT&T sent me this watch to review, which I really appreciate, and I really like it. I think that Google has been earnestly working on their watches, and this is the first one, honestly, that I think is a solid competitor in the industry, which is really cool and kind of makes me wonder what the Watch 4 is going to look like. But that's a little ahead of the game. So Google Pixel Watch 3, if you have an Android phone, this is a solid option to check out. That's all I got. Let me get this thing back on my wrist. So I'll catch you in my next video.